Hey, good morning, everybody, and happy New Year to everybody here from the team here at the Unlock Show with Tracy Wilson. I'm your host, and as you can tell, well, my name's Tracy Wilson for sure. Hey, hopefully you guys have been watching over the last year. I've been away, so I'm a little bit rusty today. I've been away having a bit of a break with family over the Christmas holidays and the New Year break, and I hope you guys did too. I hope you took some time out to just spend with your family and your loved ones. And you took some time to actually recharge and reset like I did. But I must admit, it takes a little bit of getting back into momentum when you take a bit of time out. I'm going to share with you a bunch of stuff that I did over the holiday break, which I think will be quite interesting to you guys. And secondly, I'm going to share with you what the heck have I got installed for the Unlock Show in 2022. So I want you guys to stick around and I'll share all of that with you. And if you hang around to the end, I've got a few things to give away today. So given that today's show is a little bit of a deviation from what had been planned, we were going to have the amazing Dr. Chris Gray on the show with us today, but we're going to move that back for an unforeseen circumstance. He's not able to join us on the show today, but you guys know it doesn't matter if a show guest isn't able to join. What do? You just carry on and you go anyway. So I thought today I would share with you guys what I've got installed, what you can expect by watching the Unlock Show over the next year in 2022. And like I said, I've got a few little giveaways to give to you guys for you that are loyal listeners. I've had a bunch of you guys tuning in every single week for the last year, and I don't even know how many shows I'm up to now. It's over 100 of these shows I've been doing over the last, I think, almost 2 years now. I'm into my second year of doing the Unlock Show, and I absolutely love it. So it is an absolute pleasure to get back with you guys. Getting back into my regular rhythm and routine of Wednesday morning. So every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Brisbane time, I'll be going live right here on the Unlock Show. So let's kind of give you a little bit of detail about what the heck did I get up to over the Christmas break. And I did something that I don't normally do. In fact, I would have been absolute shit scared to do in the past. So what the heck was that? Well, I'm going to unleash that in just a moment. So over the Christmas break, I decided that, given all the stuff that's been going on with COVID and with lockdowns, and for those of you that don't know, I live on the Gold Coast of Australia. So right now, kind of COVID or the Omicron variant is running rampant in our community. And so, we've had a lot of, I suppose, a lot less opportunity to be able to go out and do the things that we would normally do, hanging out with friends and family, people being a little bit more cautious, as they should, rightly so, be doing. So over that time, I had, and given that, previously I used to be able to travel quite a bit. I used to travel back and forth to America, being able to get on a plane with no trouble whatsoever. But as you guys know, you've probably experienced the same thing. Last 2 years, you haven't been able to go anywhere. So what do you do instead? You've got to get the heck out, right? You've got to get out of the four walls that you live in and the four walls that, well, I work and live in the same four walls. So I want to get out and be able to experience the outdoors. And if you've been listening to a few of my podcasts and my shows, you'll know that I absolutely love camping. Well, let me tell you that these Australian summers can be a little bit, let's say, unpredictable and a bit harsh. You can get 4 seasons in one day. So if I rewind just back to before Christmas, and in this time wanting to try and get out, my husband and I decided on a Friday afternoon we would just pack everything into the car and we would go not too far from our home to do a little bit of a camping over the weekend, just to get out and about and enjoy some sunshine. And on a Friday afternoon, it looked like it was absolutely beautiful, which it was. And we went and we spent some time at Tallybudgera Creek, which is not too far from here. It's a beautiful little campground, not too far from the beach, and got a whole lot of fun stuff that you can do with your family, which my family usually come down and spend some time with us during the day. Anyhow, when we got there, we usually have a big tent set up. We set up our tent, got ourselves settled in, and as we usually do, we grab ourselves a cup of coffee and our thermal mugs, and we walk around the campground, and you're kind of looking at all the different, camper trailers, camper tents, etc., and you're sort of wondering, which one of these, it's time to upgrade. Which one should we purchase? And as we're wandering around the campground, my husband sees this little camper. And I happened to be down another lane at this point because I was looking at something else. And he said, Trace, you've got to come over here. Come and have a look. Come and check this out. And anyway, it was this little wee teardrop camper, and there's a bit of a moral to this story, and it's and I want you guys to think about kind of these serendipitous moments that happen, throughout our life. And I don't know about you, but I have these happen on a regular basis. It's kind of strange, but anyhow, my husband says to me, "Hey, come and check this little camper out," and we see this little teeny weeny white thing, but it's got all of the mod cons in it. It's got got a bed set up. It's got your all the cooking facilities and everything that one would need, but it's just a really little camping setup. And we had a bit of a giggle and thought, oh, that's kind of cute, but probably not really for us. Anyway, as the story goes, the next day comes around, which is a Saturday. Friends and family come. We have a great time in the pool. And then, as I mentioned, these crazy Gold Coast summers, all of a sudden you can look up into the sky and you just see these big, black, ominous clouds coming overhead. And you just know that the skies are about to open and, you're about to be not just dribbled on a little bit of rain, but you are absolutely going to be drenched. So anyway, we're sitting in this pool because all of our kids had gone, and we just John and I, only two people in this adults pool, and we thought we'll get a bit of a swim in before these big black clouds come over. And funnily enough, another couple decides that they would come and swim in the pool too. Just him and I and another couple. And funnily enough, it happened to be the owners of that teardrop trailer. So we were like, what the heck? What are the chances of that? We're talking about this little teardrop trailer. We're the only ones in the pool. And then this other couple decide that they would jump in the pool too. So of course you spark up a conversation. And I'm going to tell you, strangely enough, so many opportunities have come my way just by being, I don't know, in a swimming pool or a spa pool or a jacuzzi, as my business partners, Vicky and Robin Helm, would tell you, and we spark up some conversation, usually in the pool if you're, having a bit of chat with the other people that are there. Anyhow, so we spark up this conversation with the other couple that come to the pool. They so happen to be the owners of that teardrop trailer. They start talking a little bit about their teardrop and how they've been able to take it kind of everywhere, and that gets packed up, and they don't have a lot of trouble having to pack things down and keep things dry, etc., etc. Anyhow, quite interesting. We continue to have that conversation. As I mentioned, big black ominous clouds come overhead. We look up into the sky and we're like, oh, we better move. We've got to get out of this pool and get back to our campsite, as these black clouds are coming overhead. So that's what we do. Both couples get out of the pool, off we go back to our campsite. And it would have been, I wish that I had actually caught this on camera because it would have been quite humorous. Imagine both John and I in our swimwear back at our tent, back at our big tent. We call it a big gazebo. It's got a tent on the inside. He and I just get back there. We pretty much step 1 foot inside. The sky's open. The rain just pelts down. Thunder, lightning. You can imagine, massive big storm. And then along come the winds. And these winds just whipped up out of nowhere, and they were almost like gale force winds. So you can imagine he and I in our swimwear still, trying our hardest to hang on to our camping setup so it wouldn't just take off. And believe me, he looked at me at one point and said, Trace, I'm going to lose this thing. And of course I said, no, you are not. You're going to hang on to that thing as hard as you can. Just hang on. Anyway, so as the pair of us are doing this, I kind of make the decision, do you know what? This isn't going to go away. This is not going to be a fun night. And when I'm talking about this, I want you guys to think about this also from a business point of view, because there are times in our business, right, where we make plans for things to happen, and then all of a sudden, just like that, the skies open up, a storm comes along, and you've got to think on your feet and you've got to pivot. So in this moment, I'm like, this isn't going to be fun. This plan that we had originally is just not going to work. Also having a bit of it was, I'm going to say, scary. It was funny at the time. And I was also thinking, God, I hope that these other people and these other campers are not looking at us right now, because this is not a very pretty sight. Anyhow, so as all of this is happening, I look at him and I go, I think we've got to drop this thing and we've got to pack it up. So we literally just dropped the tent right down. We had to be like little, trolls, I'm going to say, inside of this tent trying to pack everything up, packed it all up, put it in the car. And as you know, whenever you're trying to put wet stuff away, or put your camping stuff away in the back of your car, it just never works out the way that it did when you put it in there. It was all neat and tidy when we got there, but of course somehow, I don't know, you end up with all this extra stuff that we didn't think we were going to have. And so of course I'm sitting in the front seat of the car and I've got camping gear literally up to my eyeballs, not even able to see out of the windows. And I look at John as we're traveling home and I'm like, I think we need to rethink this. We need to rethink this whole camping situation. Then the story goes on, because that night, and this is this whole serendipity, right? And when you put your mind to something, things, and I want you guys to think about in 2022, there are going to be signs for you kind of littered everywhere. They'll be dropped to you as time goes on, and you need to be awake and be watching out for these. So anyway, as I say to John, hey, we've got to rethink this concept and this idea of how we're going to go camping in the future, because this works in when there's no wind, but when there's a wind and a storm, this camping arrangement we've got just does not cut it. So of course I get home, and what is the first thing I do? Well, I jump online and I look for a teardrop camper. All right, not even in my my thoughts before going on that trip, but I'm looking up a teardrop camper. And now I know and realize those damn things are friggin' expensive. I so happened to find one online and it was really cheap. So of course I messaged the guy and said, hey, is this available? He said, yeah, it is actually. I sold it last week, but the guy never showed up. So now it's still available. I'm like, cool, can we come and have a look at it tomorrow? So off we go. We go up to the Sunshine Coast and we purchase this dirty little, I'm going to say, almost like a little dog box. Most people would look at it and said, what the heck did you buy and why did you buy that? Sometimes you just have to buy things with a bit of vision and a bit of, forethought into, hey, this is what I could do. So now I get to, what the heck did I get up to over the Christmas break? Well, as you've probably figured out, over the Christmas break, I spent my spare time stripping back a camper trailer, of which I did most of it myself. Never had had done a lot of that work myself before. Had to sand down and grind the whole trailer because it was full of rust, de-rust it, paint it, strip the trailer back, basically strip the whole thing out and redid it. I'll post some pictures to it after today's show so you can actually see what I got up to, but also learn a thing or two about how to rewire a trailer, not the plug-in 240 volt, but just the 12 volt wiring. So I managed to be able to do all of that too. Now here I get to the next thing, and this is where when I talk about on the Unlock show, the family side of things. This is where these projects come in to play. And when you've heard me talk about kind of creating family traditions and creating, family moments. Well, that project, the fact that we bought this dirty old little camper, gave my family the opportunity to kind of come together over that time and actually work on something together. Of course, I had to drive that, but I was able to actually found out a lot of skills that my children had that I didn't really even know they had. I knew they had, knew they had skill, but I didn't actually know that I would be able to utilize these skills in these particular ways. So I have 3 boys. All 3 of the boys had a part to play in us refurbishing this little camper. So it started out with us taking it around to my son's place, actually parking it in his front yard because we live in an apartment and we weren't able to do it in our basement. So we took it over to his place. Thank you, Nico, for giving up your front yard to your mum for a number of days and annoying you every day to help me out. But, he was able to come out and helped us actually take the entire back hutch off the camper, and we redid all of the kitchen, and he helped us with that. And then I was able to utilize the skills of my other son, Liam, and he was able to help me, undo a lot of the stuff that I wasn't able to undo on the camper trailer. And he helped us put together all of, helped me with the electricals. And then my other son, Tyrone, helped with all the carpeting and recovering a lot of the stuff with marine carpet. So it was really cool that I was able to, use that project to bring the kids together and get them to work on this little thing with us. but also that it actually enabled both John and I to work on something. So John's my husband, but he and I kind of worked on these things. He's very good with numbers and demolition. I'm kind of like the planner and the organizer and the one that does more of the technical stuff. So it's really up my alley. Anyway, so we started working on this little camper, and when we brought it back to our apartment building, we had it downstairs. This is where it got quite heartwarming, actually, because John and I would go downstairs every day and we would just do, even if it was just an hour, just work on something on that trailer together. We sort of plan what we were going to do. We'd go downstairs and we'd do it. And as the weeks and the days went by, more and more we were down there, more and more of our elderly residents in our apartment building would come over and be interested in what we were doing, and be like every day come past and say, well, what have you done today? You know, how are you going with that? And in fact, can we borrow it? Will you decide to rent this out? And one day, one gentleman who'd been visiting us every day, he came over to us in the morning and he was watching us put together the electricals for it and had a bit of a chat. And he went away, and about 15 minutes later, he came back. And he said, do you know the real reason why I come over here? Can I let you in on a little bit of a secret? And I thought, oh, here we go. What's this all about? And he said, you know what? The reason I come over here is because I actually love the fact that you two, a husband and wife, are actually working on a project together. That is not seen very often. It is pretty much unheard of these days. He said, most marriages don't even last 3 years, let alone being able to come down and work on a project and not have arguments like I've watched you guys over the last couple of weeks. And I'm going to say, finding projects that both you and your husband and potentially even your children can work on really, really make a huge difference. And it makes a difference to be able to improve your communication with one another, and obviously for everybody to get buy-in on the project that you're doing. And that elderly man was absolutely right. It's very unusual to see families actually doing that stuff together. So I would encourage you guys, aside from working really hard on your business this year, to find some projects that you can do as a family, if it's just a husband and wife team, as a partnership, or as an extended family that you guys can actually work on. It might be something really small, it might be a big project, but if you do it together, you'll find that you'll improve the level of communication that you have and an appreciation for one another. And you probably will also find out additional skills that each other has, and you'll learn to work together on things. So the other crazy thing that I did over that Christmas break, which I have never, ever done before, because as you know, and you can imagine, working in the field that I work in, you use technology on the regular. Social media and my phone and my computer are kind of the lifeblood of everything that I do. So the thought of kind of switching off all technology over that time was like super, super scary. But I decided on Christmas Eve, my phone went flat, and the kids were like just having so much fun, and I was enjoying my time with them. And they'd often say to me, Mum, just put your phone down. You can get back to that later. So I actually ended up, one day went past and I didn't turn my phone on. That turned into a full 10 days of just complete signing out of all technology. And I thought at the time I was actually really, really nervous about turning my phone and my computer back on the last day, thinking, oh, what am I going to go back to? And you know what? That was often we stress about things and we worry about things for absolutely no reason, because I switched my phone back on and I had no issues and very few things that I had to actually go back to. So it just goes to show that sometimes, taking that little bit of a break and not having to hear all the noise and think about, what's going on even in the media, it really just gave time to spend with family and friends that I love dearly, and I could just really recharge and get focused on, spending some time on myself and recharging and getting focused on what 2020 is going to bring. Which leads me to, what is 2020 going to bring? What will the Unlock Show with Tracy Wilson look like in 2022? Well, here's what I have planned for you guys. So as you know, every single Wednesday I go live. I'm going to say, in most cases, when we're able, we get a guest on board. And all of those guests are going to be in alignment with finding your voice, helping you to improve your business skills and expertise. And they will be top of the line guests. So I want you guys to put in your diary, make sure that you tune in every single Wednesday, 10 a.m. Brisbane time, because I will be bringing you some world-class guests to the Unlock Show. And if you have any questions, you can always make sure that you're able to communicate with me through the comments so that I can answer those questions for you. Now, on Fridays, I'll also be doing the Unlock Show. It'll be a solo show, just me, and I'll be taking you guys through how to build a really successful online business, how to find your voice. And I'll be talking about even things like how do you grow your influence and your authority in 2022. There are some massive changes that have been happening. And if you are not already using video to grow your business or to grow your influence and authority, you absolutely should. So stay tuned, because I'm going to show you guys and share with you how to do that. And if you want to and you're ready to do something about that now, then you can actually go to I'll put this also in the comments, www.freedomseekersway.com/LSLA. Both Vicky Helm and I have actually put together a free program for you guys to do. It teaches you how to go live over 14 days. We actually hold your hand and take you through the things that you need to do to start launching your very own live show. That's going to help you to build your influence, your authority, and your exposure, and also help you to align your messaging with your products and services. So head on over to that. There you go. Robin Helms actually just popped that into the chat for me. So if you would like to take advantage of that free program, then go to freedomseekersway.com/LSLA and get yourself onto that program and work your way through it. If at any time you need help, you've got opportunity to be able to ask both Vicky and I any questions inside of a Facebook group that we have available to you guys too. And of course, I'm always available to answer any questions that you guys have. I did say that I was going to give away some stuff, and true to my word, I'm going to give away some stuff. So I have in my hot little hand today a copy of the She Myth book. You guys will know that this book came out this time last year, and we are in the process. So you're going to see over the next couple of days, the audio version of the She Myth book is about to be released. So you'll see that in the next week or so. But for now, for today, I have got a copy of the She Myth book available. I'm going to give that away to one lucky viewer who comments on the show today. I want to know, tell me, what is your what will I like to know about you guys? Just tell me where you're dialing in from. Just tell me that. Just put that into the comments and I will choose somebody today. So by 4 p.m. this afternoon, I will choose a winner, somebody who comments and tells me where they are dialing in to the show today only. And I will make sure that I send you a copy of the She Myth book. The other thing that I have got available to you for today, well, in fact, I'm going to hold this one off. I'm going to leave it for Friday. So if you tune in on Friday, I'm going to tell you guys how you can get a copy of the Freedom Seekers Journal. Let me tell you a little bit about the journal. If you are in the process of planning out your 2020, you want to get your hands on a copy of the Freedom Seekers Journal. And it will help you to plan. And it's also a journal that is interactive. It's the first interactive journal in the world that will enable you to use the art of tapping, so EFT tapping, to help you get rid of any blockages or any self-limiting beliefs that you might have that maybe have prevented you from moving forward in the past. So you can utilize both the journal to help you plan, but also the interactiveness of it with the EFT tapping that Brad Yates does for us. So Brad Yates is one of the leading authorities when it comes to EFT tapping around the world. So we've got Brad who has created all of the tapping videos that go with the Freedom Seekers Journal. You guys are going to be able to tap in and get a copy of that absolutely free too. But you need to join in to our Friday show to be able to get a copy of that. And I'll have a little something that you'll need to do, and you'll need to be on the show live. So make sure that you get here live 10 a.m. on Friday, and you'll be in the running to be able to get your hands on a copy of the Freedom Seekers Journal and also the accompanying program that goes with that. So I want to say for now, we've got a bunch of people lined up on the Unlock show for our Wednesday show. So stay tuned for those. You'll see the advertisements come out. Dr. Chris Gray, who was supposed to be on the show with us today, I'm going to say that we're going to be a little bit flexible this year, because we know that with COVID and some of the stuff that's going on, sometimes people can't show up. Sometimes they get knocked down with with whatever might be going on, and we just have to be flexible. So as much as I might advertise that there'll be a particular guest on, if at the last minute we need to make a bit of a switcheroonie, then of course I'm still going to be going live, and I'll be sharing something else with you guys to help you grow your business, to make your life, your business, and your family better. That's what the Unlock show is all about. So I want to say welcome back to the show. Welcome to 2022. I am thoroughly looking forward to seeing everybody thrive in 2022. I think it's going to be an amazing year, even though it started off a little bit bumpy with what's going on with Omicron and what have you. I think we've got a lot to be grateful for and a lot to look forward to. So let's just keep moving forward and keep super focused. Now is the time when you kind of need to put on those horse blinkers and make sure that we're focused on all the things that you need to do. I know certainly for me, this year is not about adding more. It's actually about subtracting a whole lot of stuff, and just picking and choosing the things that I really, really want to be focused on, to make sure that I'm able to be successful in the right areas this year. And stay tuned, because I'll share a lot of that stuff with you guys over the coming weeks. Tell you how we're going about planning, tell you what we've got coming up. But the main thing is, the thing that I'm super focused on is a program that we've got called the Freedom Seekers Way, where it's got a mastermind, and I actually teach people how to create their own live show. They connect that with their own we call signature online program, and they actually get to write their very own book. Both Vicky Helm and I are the principal coaches inside of those program, principal mentors, and we absolutely love the students that we work with, and we're looking forward to working with, we're looking for another 20 in this next quarter. So if that's something that you guys want to do over the next year, you want to actually have your own show up and running, you want to be able to connect that with your own signature program and be able to make money online, and you would love to be able to turn that into a book, then it's high time you got in touch with either Vicky or myself. And if you want to, just type, Freedom Seekers, I'm a Freedom Seeker, into the chat, and I'll also make sure that we reach out to you and we can have a bit of a chat about that and see whether or not that program is a good fit for you in 2022. But I'm going to say thanks very much for tuning in today. A bit of a detour from our original plan, but hey, who cares? Doesn't matter. That's what live show is all about, right? You just pivot and you carry on. So thanks very much for being here. I'm Tracy Wilson. This is the Unlock Show, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys back again Friday. Don't forget, because I've got something. I've got the Freedom Seekers Way journal and program to give away to you guys if you tune in on Friday. All right, guys, and I will announce the winner for the She Myth book a little bit later today, based on the comments that you guys type in, and I can see somebody's already tuning in from Melbourne. So, all right, guys, have a fantastic rest of the week, and I'll see you guys again on Friday. Bye for now.